Hello, I'm Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner with the 13 Weather Authority, and we're tracking an Arctic cold front for the second week in a row. So last Wednesday, we had very strong winds, we had that cold weather move in, and we had that brief round of snow that caused some slick conditions. Might see a repeat of that as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Winds won't be as strong, but the cold air looks even harsher. And of course, we have to watch out for that spotty snow shower activity. So we are live here on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, on our website, on the 13 News app. So there's multiple ways that you're able to stream us and get this weather information. By the way, live on our Facebook right now, 13 WREX. Any questions or comments you may have, I'll be able to answer those live. But here's a look at exact track radar. Cold front working its way across Minnesota and South Dakota right now. That is the source of the Arctic air that'll send wind chills well below zero as we go into tomorrow night. As I look at the current wind chill map, you can see that Bismarck, North Dakota, minus 11 right now behind that Arctic cold front. So it hasn't quite caught up with some spots yet, but we are definitely going to get there as we go into the next 24 hours. So that's what lies ahead for us behind that front. In the meantime, this is what we're watching out for. So blustery Arctic winds, they'll feel pretty chilly tomorrow, could gust up to 40 miles per hour or higher. Last week, we saw 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts, so the winds won't be as strong, but still these blustery winds may have an impact because you combine that with some light snow showers. And there's a possibility we could get some snow squalls tomorrow. So kind of like a snow squall or a squall line during the summer, we might get a brief downpour of snow and some strong winds to sweep through ahead of that cold front, which can definitely change travel conditions very quickly. And then as we get into tomorrow evening, snow exits, winds hang around, sub-zero wind chills kick in, and we could be well down into the minus 20 range by tomorrow night. So as we kind of just discuss, so what exactly is a snow squall? This is something that has popped up rarely in our backyard since the National Weather Service started issue warnings for it. It's brief blizzard-like conditions. So like I mentioned, think of the summer when a squall line of thunderstorms comes through. You got a brief round of downpours, you've got some gusty winds. It's similar in nature to that. We've got a quick coating of snow plus 40 mile an hour or greater wind gusts. That'll definitely cause the road conditions to change suddenly. And it's these type of events that can really catch drivers off guard. You're looking at slick roads and low visibility. In almost an instant, you go from dry conditions to, oh my gosh, can't see. It's hard to navigate on the roads. And now we're into all sorts of trouble. And these tend to lead to pileups, unfortunately. Think back about a couple years ago, that big one on I-39 by us, north of Beloit in January. Something similar may have been the culprit with this, where we had a brief squall come through and cause those conditions to change suddenly. So what do? If you get an alert on your phone, snow squall warning gets issued, either stay put and delay your travel until after the snow and the wind go away, or if you're out driving, slow way down, because these kind of conditions can catch drivers off guard very quickly. Maybe even consider, the next exit on the highway or pulling over to the nearest gas station. Don't necessarily go on the shoulder of the highway, but this is something like, all right, next stop, we're going to pull off for a little bit. We're going to let these conditions move by us, and then we'll get back onto our journey. So food for thought in case we get those snow squalls tomorrow. We kind of need the conditions to line up just right, so it's not a guarantee for tomorrow, but you'll see here at about 11 a.m. or so, we've got this brief round of snow that's going to sweep through. That'll be with us for about an hour or two, but that might be just enough to cause a sneaky accumulation on the roads, some slick conditions, hard to see with the wind. Snow's out by the time we get to about 2 o'clock, so it's not going to be with us for very long. But there's that brief window there where it may be hard to see. Roads get pretty slippery in a hurry. So this is what we're looking at for tomorrow in that narrow window between about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't look for that snow to really pile up much. So that is something that, you look at those snow totals and you're probably thinking, that's really not that much snow. Half an inch, I can easily drive on that, but it's just how suddenly it piles up that'll catch people off guard. And that is definitely something that we're just trying to warn you about, get out ahead of, so that you're staying safe for tomorrow, just in case. So don't look necessarily at the totals, look at the impacts here. So slick roads, low visibility, that could all be in play throughout the day tomorrow during the middle of the day, and then sub-zero wind chills coming in after. And thing to look at for tomorrow too is it'll be somewhat normal in the morning with temperatures in the upper 20s, but then things really tank after that front comes through. So we're dropping down into the teens to single digits by tomorrow evening, wind chill hovering just above zero, if not dropping below zero. And then we go into tomorrow night. With the bottom dropping out, you're looking at wind chills down into the -10 to -20 range. That'll extend into Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, still pretty bitterly cold until things calm down from there. Much warmer weekend as we look forward towards the end of the week. So this is a brief cold spell. This little cold spell is going to be kind of harsh for Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, Thursday, but then by Friday, returning to much warmer conditions. So if you're just joining us, again, we're live here on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, streaming some weather information for tomorrow. So we're keeping an eye on the questions and comments live here on Facebook. If you're wondering anything about tomorrow's wind, snow, harsh, cold event, let us know. And then just keep this in mind if we do have to update you again tomorrow. Our 13 News app, our website, WREX.com. We've got our Facebook page, got our YouTube page. That'll keep you up to speed. We'll have these briefings if we need them into tomorrow too. So if you're just hopping on, I've seen the audience grow up just a little bit here. So we'll kind of run through this again quickly. Arctic cold front on the way. It's just now getting into Minneapolis. Behind that, wind chills are looking pretty harsh, down to a -11 in Bismarck right now and in the teens elsewhere. So it's chilly ahead of that front, but look at that core of polar air working into the northern plains. That's the kind of weather we're going to have tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. And right out ahead of it, there may be some issues with wind and snow. So it'll be a blustery day tomorrow, gusts up to 40 miles per hour or stronger. Not to the levels that we saw last week, but these blustery conditions combined with some snow could result in some snow squalls, which is intense bursts of snow and wind that can cause road conditions to change on a dime. And that's not something you want to have to mess around with into tomorrow afternoon if you are driving. And then tomorrow night, that's when the sub-zero wind chills kick in. So as a refresher, a snow squall is like a brief little blizzard almost. Think of this kind of like a squall line that comes through during the summer months. You generally get downpours and blustery winds with those. This time around, it's a quick burst of snow plus some strong winds causing not only some slick roads, but low visibility. And there is a suddenness to this where conditions go from dry and clear to you can barely see, and you've got enough of a coating on the roads to cause some slick spots. And with temperatures below freezing tomorrow afternoon, that snow's got a much better chance of sticking compared to last week where things were a little above freezing. So it may not be a ton of snow, but it may be just enough to cause some sneaky, slick conditions. So don't let that catch you off guard. And snow squalls do get warnings from the National Weather Service, so the hope here is that if we do see some coming, we're able to issue a warning. We'll let you know that they're on the way, but if you get an alert on your phone, especially if the 13 Weather Authority app, either delay your travel, just kind of hunker down until after the snow squall passes, either slow way down on the road or on the highway, or maybe pull over, nearest off-ramp, nearest exit, get to a gas station, hunker down until all that sweeps through, and then get back on the road. So these are things like, during the summer when we have a squall line come through, they move pretty fast. So they might be in and out in under an hour. They're not going to hang around for very long, but it's that sudden burst of snow causing roads to change quickly that can catch a lot of drivers off guard. Thankfully, it's not going to be like an all-day event, but there's that narrow window there where that burst of snow can cause a lot of issues. And you'll see it here on Future Track. Doesn't look like much, but generally 11 a.m. to about noon to 1. Got got a quick hitting line of snow with some strong winds that may cause all sorts of travel headaches. So right in the middle part of the day, you're going out for lunch, you're grabbing a break from work, going into second shift for your workplace or something, that's when you want to be on the lookout for these slick conditions. The snow is out by the evening commute, which is good. It's just right in the middle of the day, right during that lunch break, that you're going to want to be on your toes, on extra guard for slick conditions. So dusting to a half an inch at most, really not a ton of snow, but that's just enough to cause some slippery conditions on the roads, so be careful out there, and it'll be hard to see them because all that snow is blowing around. So roughly 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is when the snow and wind threats combine. Then after that, it's just windy and very cold. We get ready for those sub-zero wind chill values after about 6 o'clock or so tomorrow night. Temperatures starting out kind of normal in the morning. The cold front hits, temperatures tank, and then we've got those hazardous wind chills as we go into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, especially as we get into the -10 to -20 range tomorrow night through Thursday morning. So that's when you want to try to be indoors as much as possible and protect your pets, keep them warm. If you have to let them out to do their business, keep those bathroom breaks brief and then get them back inside and keep them all happy and warm and all snuggled up. And, you know, the added bonus is that they're kind of like a nice little heating pad too. They'll add a little heat for those chilly nights that we have ahead and that chilly day for Thursday. So that's a brief rundown of some of the threats we could see tomorrow. And like I mentioned, we get some snow squall warnings. We'll make sure that we're online here and alerting you about them as quickly as possible as those threats may pop up right in the middle part of the day. So stay with us for updates on that. And then coming up tonight on 13 News at 10, there is another precipitation threat coming later this week when we warm back up again to see when snow and rain may be ahead. That's coming up tonight on 13 News at 10. Thanks for joining us here and have a great rest of your night.